Let's buy a boat and travel the world, I said.
We don't know how to sail, I said.
Call us crazy, but we did it anyway, and we invite you to come along as we fumble our way through this new life.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
As the quaint island of Simi disappears over our shoulders, we know for certain it's a place we want to return to and explore. For now, we are focused on making our way up through the Dodecanese, meaning 12 island chain, mostly going against the prevailing northerly winds. We have several overnight anchorage rest stops in mind where we wouldn't be leaving the boat, as well as a few places where we want to stay longer and meet up with sailor friends. What we didn't know is whether we would find ourselves in a situation where we had no option but to stop and shelter from the frequent strong Meltelmi winds.
So we're en route from Simi to Telos today, and we actually look like we got some wind in the direction we want to go, which is, we don't get that very often, and so we're going to be able to put our new mainsail up and hopefully sail the whole way, the rest of the way anyway, for the next few hours, fingers crossed.
Right, I'm off to bed. She thinks I'm joking.
I know you're not. Looking pretty happy.
Yeah.
Any day that you can switch the engine off.
But actually go where you want to go.
Yeah. We're all... We got a little bit of a situation in that on our crossing from Simi to Telos, we're actually going through Turkish waters, and we've formally checked out of Turkey a few days ago, so we're finding ourselves like 4 nautical miles off the Greek border in Turkish waters, and we just spotted a humongous Turkish warship that seems to be patrolling the border. I'm sure they can see us on their AIS as a British flagged boat. We just don't know if they're going to hail us and ask us, are we, I don't know, I mean, you would think that we're so insignificant that you know, they wouldn't, but at the same time they could just be bored because there's nothing going on the border, so they're going suspiciously slow, don't you think?
So are we.
Do you think we should speed up again?
No, I don't want to get in front of them.
Can you get fined, or what
I don't
happens? They got guns on the front. Maybe they'll just take a pop at us. Oh, they're slowing down.
Yeah, slowing down.
I feel a bit sick.
Me too.
And then the VHF radio crackles into action, and we hold our breath expecting to hear Galen's name being hailed.
At first off navigation, information to ship in the area will be broadcast on the...
To our relief, it was just a Turk radio general information announcement. How far till we're back in Greece?
2.7 nautical miles, so probably half an hour at this rate, 35 minutes.
Do you think we got away with it?
I think we got away with it.
And just like that, the wind returns, a bit stronger than earlier. Time to get some canvas out. We were feeling a little lazy after our Turkish border adrenaline rush, and with only another 2 hours to get to our first overnight rest stop, we elected to just unfurl the Genoa foresail and cruised along at a respectable 5.5 knots. After one more quick overnight stop on the south side of Kos Island, we made our way to Kalymnos. We'd been studying the forecast and a strong Meltemi was predicted to blow in through the coming days, so we were keen to secure a place at the dock and wait it out.
So we're tied up to a public dock here in Kalymnos for a few days, waiting for a big weather blow to go by. And it's getting quite busy because I think the most wind speed we're going to see is probably overnight tonight and then tomorrow. So there's a lot of people also looking for places right now to be safe. It's getting quite full. Take a look. So we do have one space next to us right now, and there's a big boat that's just starting the manoeuvre of coming in to take that space. What that involves is dropping their anchor out there, and then they will make their way back. But they're doing it probably in about 25 knots of wind. I don't envy them.
At least it's 25 knots of wind that way.
25 knots of wind coming from behind us, so coming from the north. Still doesn't make for an easy anchoring situation though, or reversing situation. And Pete's just getting ready to.
Already down.
Pete's getting ready to push them off if he needs to, or to use the fender. He's going to get the fender ready in case he needs it. And this very nice marinera is going to get ready, Pete, with a fender. Pete, get the fender up the front, love.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit nerve-wracking for everybody because they're good, good sailors, but still when the wind hits, just need to help smooth them in a bit. She's a big girl. The tight squeeze. And they got much bigger fenders than us too, so nice and protected for us until we settle.
Yeah, anyone you don't crash is a good one.
Look at the size of that fender. It's a big bugger. So now they just got to get tied up to the shore, and then they'll tighten up on their anchor at the front there, and they'll be set.
Kalymnos is the third most populated island in the Dodecanese chain, after Kos and Rhodes, and is said to be the wealthiest of the Greek islands overall. Much of the affluence can be found around the capital town of Pothia. To see more of the island, it's necessary to rent transportation, and we did this with our new sailor friends and dock buddies, Tracy and Steve.
The views from the monastery Samos, the island's patron saint, were breathtaking. Thousands of visitors flock to the site every year to pay their respects to the patron saint. We learned that if you aren't already dressed in accordance with the strict guidelines, one of the nuns will happily provide you with the appropriate attire at the entrance. Aristo. Smell that. That's crazy. Amazing. You kind of just want to stand still and take it in for a minute. Look at the way the light's landing on these chairs. The working monastery houses a collection of religious icons, vibrant frescoes, and the coffin of Samos. this is for Dad. Next to each other. Thanks to Tracy's careful research and planning, we were able to sample many of the island's highlights in a day, and we agreed another visit is warranted in the future. So we are saying goodbye to Kalymnos today. It's been a really nice stop here for about a week. We got to make some friends with another Amel's Super Marimou. So that's Galene's big sister. Well, that was fun, hanging out, doing a bit of tour of the island and stocking up on provisions while we waited for some wind, big wind, to blow by. It's time to go, and we're just kind of assessing the situation. It's one of those places where people can drop their anchor over your anchor, and we have a boat next to us that came in after us, so we're not sure what's going to happen, and we're just playing the waiting game to see if they'll go first. They did go first and left us free and clear. Pete slipped the stern lines and brought up the anchor like a pro, although we continue to encounter an issue with the chain bunching up in the locker.
Okay, we're about 1 meter down. The chain's fouled again. I gotta go down. But you can just keep it in this position.
And we were on our way again, with another short hop to the next island to the north, where we plan to shelter from the next cycle of Miltemi winds heading our way.
Slow down.
He's telling them to slow down.
Slow down. Let the boat sink.
So we're on a mooring ball in Panteli Bay here, and the wind is picking up. The reason we planned ahead and took an extra night is that before it really got windy, is because we didn't want to have to be dealing with what we're seeing now, which is things getting a bit chaotic because the wind's picking up and people realise that they don't really want to be on anchor tonight or tomorrow probably, or Wednesday for that matter. So we got a bit of a lineup for boats, and poor old Zephyris, can't remember his name exactly, is got a lineup, and that particular boat he's tying up right now, it hasn't really gone to plan. This is their 4th attempt. I think he's finally got them on a ball, but it took 4 goes. I think because they were just coming in too fast every time, and he really puts his life on the line in his little green boat out front there.
We are in civilization. However, there's a very, very strange feeling that when you're at anchor, there's a Wild West feel to it. Like everyone comes in and drops their anchor, and sometimes you can be too close, and you say to them, oh no, you're too close, you have to move over here, and then there's an argument, or it's sometimes okay, fair enough, and there's no like, excuse me officer, this person's parked too close, can you deal with it? You have to sort it out amongst yourselves, and that has that Wild West feel to it. It feels, I don't know, just kind of wild out here, like, because you're just parking your boat with a bunch of strangers, and I don't know, it's a little unnerving.
I think it's a very valid feeling based on what we saw
and,
today.
and sometimes
based on the shit show
yeah,
we saw
it's based
today.
on the shit show, and you come across some people that are very reasonable, and some people that are not reasonable at all. But there's no recourse. As I said, you can't, like, the harbor master is not going to come out and sort things out for you. You have to sort it out amongst
Just throw
yourselves.
down his lines.
Yeah, amongst sailors, the sailor in the community, you have to sort it out amongst yourselves. It's
Wind's picking up. Wind's
yeah,
picking
yeah,
up.
the wind's picking up, but it's definitely a different life.
It is. We got a bit of cabin fever going on here. We've not been off the boat for 2 days, and we're in this really pretty spot, as mentioned earlier, in Leros. Oh, it's windy, so that's where we're heading. A nice music accompaniment to get there, and we're going to be hiking up there to that castle. Should be fun. The legs definitely need a stretch after not moving around much for a while. I forgot how to do it. It's been so long since we were having a dinghy ride.
Huh?
That's the dock
Yeah,
with the steps on the side of it.
yeah. There's a person there.
Yeah,
so,
see that?
In fact, you don't even need the steps. You can step right up into it.
Our first job whenever we come to shore, and we haven't been to shore for 3 days, is to find a garbage bin. Because we accumulate, not much actually, but still all adds up. We've been walking about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes since we left the little harbour area. And it's quite a escalation. I'm not sure exactly how many 100 metres above sea we are right now. But we haven't walked for ages, so it's we're certainly feeling it now, and I think we're going to feel it even more tomorrow. But we're almost there. And looking forward to seeing what I think is going to be a really, really good view from the top, because the views have been amazing on the way up.
Please leave at the present time.
We're here, finally. It's quite a hoof uphill, isn't it? You've found a really excellent Greek band when you can hear them right at the top of the hill in a castle, and they're actually playing all the way down there in the town, which was funny. Everybody in Panteli gets to enjoy this band today. So these bells are pretty cool. Imagine how loud they are from all the way up here. What would you use them for?
To invite, to mourn, and to warn.
How do you know that?
Because there's a sign that says that's what they're for.
That's fair enough. You don't want every Tom, Dick and Harry coming through and banging away at them, do you?
As always, when you go high, the walk down was much easier and gave us splendid views of the island capital, Agia Marina, on the right.
So after a long day's hike up to the castle and back, what more could you want out of life?
It's a little pita breads and a little tzatziki, or maybe a lot of tzatziki.
Well, there could be takeaway back to the boat there.
Yeah. My God.
You'd be smelling for garlic for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And we got mussels, and what else on the way? Calamari, of course.
Mussels, calamari, some French fries, and yeah.
I'd say all in all, a nice treat
Yeah.
at the end of a long walk.
Yes.
Bon appetit. The next morning the wind had subsided, but was still coming directly from the north, where we wanted to go, of course. So we prepared to tack our way up to the next stop, a quaint little anchorage on the islet of Archangelos, giving way to a few hard-working fishermen on the way, of course. One of the nice things about not having to be anywhere at any particular time is that we get to practice our sailing skills, as mentioned before, and today we're trying out a configuration of foresail and mizzen sail, and it's known as jib and jigger. And the reason we're doing this is because we're just coming off a few days of really high winds, and we've been told that in the Aegean you can often add 10 knots onto whatever's predicted. So it was predicted to go from about 12 gusting to 17, 18 today, and because we haven't been doing much sailing, we didn't really want to put the main and then have to be getting on the deck to do reefs and stuff. We're kind of being a bit lazy and maybe a bit overly cautious as well. So yeah, we got the mizzen up. We've got about 13, 14 knots of wind, and we are doing about 5.3 knots. We're also practicing tacking because since we were on the little 27-foot Kalymnos back in Vancouver 3 years ago, we haven't really done a whole lot of tacking, and we need to get to know how to just balance it right on Galeen. So we've been doing some of that too, and so far so good. We're making good progress and heading for our anchorage. Should be there about 3 o'clock. It's only 10 nautical miles, but with all the extra tacks that we've put in so far, obviously it's a lot more than that. But it's good.
The remote islet of Archangelos is part of Leros, but it isn't inhabited except for the owners of the taverna and the many goats. We read some good reviews on the cruiser's Navali app about home-cooked food, and that was a good enough reason for us to make a quick pit stop, as well as a chance to stretch our legs with another uphill hike.
Can you hold on to this and toss it to me when I
Just dive away from the rock.
Yeah.
I'll jump in.
It's probably pretty cold, I'd imagine. I don't know, what do you think? Think it's pretty cold?
Yeah. I think one of the goats was just laughing at you.
Yeah.
You tell me if it's pretty cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold. It's gonna be. Give me, God, come on. I'm gonna have a quick look at this.
Yeah. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Should be taking the underwater GoPro with you.
It looks solid.
Yeah? So we made it to the island of Archangelos, and it's quite beautiful. We it was about 7 nautical miles from our last stop on Leros, and probably would have taken us about an hour and a half to motor, but we stuck with the plan and we sailed, and we probably did about 8 tacks to get up here against the northerly wind, which was right on the nose, but we did it, and the payoff is really spectacular. So I'll just give you a quick look around, including Galeen on her own in the bay, just lapping up the space. And there's the marker. We're at the top. Woohoo! So now we can definitely get that 360 view. Lots of fish farms over there. We got Leros Airport. You can see the runway from here. Artemis boatyard just peeking out there. And then over here to the north of us, we got the island of Lipsey, where we're going to be making a short hop on Monday when the wind turns southerly, so we have it behind us. It's only for a few hours, but we've only got 7 nautical miles to go. And then from there we're going to head west over to Patmos and slowly start to make our way to our final destination. From there, wait for the right weather window up to Samos.
Look at me doing that, Deb.
Because there's like a gazillion goats on this island, and the owner asked us to do it, and he probably knows that because we're sailors that we know how to tie a knot. So I'm just going to do 2 round turns, 2 hour pitches.
That'll keep the goats out.
Hopefully, else we'll be in trouble. We won't get fed tonight. And as the goats were returning home to supper, we also headed across to the taverna for what was a delicious meal, followed by a peaceful night's sleep. A change of plan the next morning, and we made our way directly over to Patmos Island, excited at the prospect of reconnecting with our sailor friends who we'd originally met in Turkey a couple of months previously. We picked up what turned out to be a free mooring ball around the corner from the main port town of Scala.
So we're walking from our anchorage to Scala. It's about 3 or 4 kilometers, and to say the good thing about traveling in the shoulder season or even in the off season is it's really quiet. The bad thing is it's so quiet that the bus service is off for the season, and we couldn't even rent a moped in the little town we're in. So we're just going to take a little 4-kilometer hike into the next bigger town, rent a moped, and yeah, tour the island a little bit.
We've got quite a juxtaposition here of this pretty little bay, lots of fishing boats on the move, and then we've got a massive cruise ship that's anchored out, shuttling people back into the little town of Scala, which is so small that there's no way a cruise ship could get in there.
Deb was of the opinion that the cruise ship was docked out there because this harbor was way too small to accommodate a cruise ship. But apparently there's a captain on board who said, "Hold my beer." What? Got something to say about my car?
What did he say? Man, there's a relationship between the car and you know what?
How do you open this thing?
You too cool for school, aren't you, little moped?
The holy monastery of St. John, the theologian, is named after St. John of Patmos, the author of the Christian book of Revelation. It's written that he lived on the island when visions of the apocalypse came to him. Since its founding in 1088, the monastery has been a pilgrimage site and place of Greek Orthodox worship. Religious ceremonies dating back to the early Christian period are still practiced in the monastery today.
So we chose a day to come and look at the monastery, and we hit the jackpot. 2 cruise ships are in. Our friends on Halakai managed to play it smart and come yesterday when nobody was around.
Not even the ticket collector.
Not even the ticket collector. It was a freebie.
We're gonna end up in someone's backyard.
Get charged.
Yeah, €5.
back up the hill, and we're now at the windmills of Patmos. Really nicely preserved buildings. The interesting thing is, one of the interesting things is that the actual, I don't know what you call them, but the parts that actually make the windmill fly are really just like a foresail on a boat. So when it's not in use, it gets furled in, and when they are, they pull them out. It would be great to see this in action, but, well, for one thing, there's no wind today.
They hook them on, pull them out there, and then they just hook it on there.
Yeah,
Well, that comes down
it's
there.
a pretty cool setup. They got blocks in it. It's like a real nautical theme, isn't it? Cool. This was another peaceful anchorage, and a place we'll revisit. But we're excited to head off to our final destination and hope that the forecasted wind would get us there, a nice easterly, allowing us to sail the final 26 miles to the south side of Samos Island to prepare Kalymnos for haul out.
Okay.
It's our last sail of the season, and we are on our way from Patmos to Samos, and we have been blessed with calm seas, a little bit of wind, and we got all the sails up.
Join us next time as we round the southwest corner of Samos to Karlovasi Boatyard, Kalymnos' winter home, and plan some major renovations.
Like a working class town, even though it is a kind of a destination for holidaymakers. I think a lot of people come here on the ferries for the day, visit the highlights, and then leave. Not so much hotels with swimming pools and beachfront space. There actually isn't a beach around this vicinity anyway, so yeah, it's kind of always on the go, and certainly with the way that the accommodations and houses and everything for the locals are spread out way back beyond the waterfront here. It's clear to see there's tourism doesn't seem to be the main industry. I think fishing is really a big one, but certainly the infrastructure is needed to support the amount of people that actually live here.